Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here, man. Trying to continue to cook up some of this NBA Summer League. Off of back-to-back good days, man. We're trying to keep the momentum rolling forward, man. Again, as I've said in all these Summer League videos, though, it's just a Summer League. Me personally, I'm not betting any crazy units, man. I'm mainly enjoying the process of talking these games through with you guys, watching the NBA basketball, and picking winners, man. So I am betting, but not anything crazy, and I don't advise that you guys do either. With that being said, man, trying to keep it rolling, man. Trying to keep it rolling. We got a good card today. Um, Anything that needs to be updated, I will try to update y'all on Twitter and in the comments. We know the roster manipulation that goes on in the NBA regular season with, late scratches and stuff like that. It's even worse right now in the summer league. Not a lot of this information is readily available. Hence why I am dropping these videos way later than I do, my actual NBA videos and things like that, man. Trying to help us make some money, trying to pick winners, man. And I really want to do that. So any updates I put in the comments. And without further ado, let's hop right in. First game up, we got the Thunder Buddies and the Wizards. Should be a good game today, man. As of right now, it looks like the guys will be playing for Oklahoma City, meaning Chet Holmgren and them. The games that they have played, the Thunder have been dominant. They beat the Mavs, won and covered, and in that last one, they beat the Indiana Pacers, won and covered. 91-80 against Dallas, 98-87 against Indiana. The one game those guys did not play, they got their doors blown off by Houston, 105-92. Houston also in that game did not play their top guys, but I do think that the roster they were fielding in that game was better than Oklahoma City, and we saw them get the win in that one. Holmgren, we saw him bounce back, have his best game of a summer league in his last one, 98-87. As of right now, in this moment, I do think he's playing in this one, and I do think that's why the line is where it's at 5.5. And I understand it, and I do lean in the direction of Oklahoma City if all these guys are playing. When we go look at Washington, I think Washington is a team that is slightly underrated, but I do understand why the line is where it's at for Oklahoma City. I'm on record saying I think at full strength, this Oklahoma City Summer League roster is probably the best pound for pound. Washington, they did lose their last game to San Antonio, 96-85. I also really like that Spurs Summer League roster. They beat a good Boston team, 103-98, and they lost to Indiana at the time with Mathurin and the crew who was running crazy, 91-83. I lean in the direction of Oklahoma City. If anything changes, if this line starts to drop or something, then that likely means that some of these guys will not play. But currently, I think everybody's in. I think Oklahoma City's fielding the better roster, and I would lean in the direction of laying the 5.5 with them in this one. Next up, we got the Clips and Philly. I like the Clips in this one, man. The Clips have been an underrated team that have really caught my eye this summer league. Started out, they lost their first game to Utah, 105-99. It was a good game. Keontae George got off on them in that game. Since then, though, they've bounced back and won their last two. Beat Sacramento 80-70, good win. And then beat a Memphis team, y'all know who I was really high on coming into the Summer League, 83-74. Their best player has been Moon. I really like what I've seen from him, and I think we continue to see this Clippers team hoop. I like them a lot in this game. Probably one of my favorite bets on the board tonight is the Clippers laying the 2. I am starting to see some 2.5s pop up. The Sixers, 1-2 in the Summer League, beat the Knicks their first game, 110-101. Those two teams fairly even. Nice win for the Sixers. And they turn around and lost their next two to Dallas and Atlanta. Dallas won that game 111-103. Philly had a nice first half lead, and we saw it diminish away in the second half. And in the next game against Atlanta, they had an early lead as well, and we saw it kind of diminish. Bad fourth quarter. Atlanta came back and won that game. Roster for roster, I think the Clippers are the better team. I understand why the line is 2, and now I'm seeing start to move up to 2.5. One of my favorite plays on the board tonight. I like the Clips to get this one done. I would lay the points in that one. Knicks, Boston. Not a game that I have a ton of information on. Not a game that I'm betting tonight. Small lean on Boston. I've kind of like what I've seen from Walsh, and uh, nobody on either of these two teams other than that have really just stood out and have made me want to put my money on them. I haven't seen anything from the Knicks. They did beat Orlando in their last one 82-80, but wasn't all that impressive. Lost by 18 to Brooklyn. Lost to that Philadelphia team we just talked about. Not a team I want to put my money on in this New York Knicks team. I did like how Boston beat the Lakers in that last one 95-90. Played a good Miami team, lost by double digits and then lost to Washington. Again, small lane for me in this one on Boston. Mavs Pacers. This is a game that is very interesting. The Dallas Mavericks have now shut down their best player in the summer league in Jaden Hardy. He will no longer play. We saw them get back-to-back wins now. They beat Philadelphia 111-103 and beat Golden State 98-96 in that last one. But I'm interested to see what this team looks like without Hardy, their main guy, a second-year guy. I know those are the guys I've told y'all we're looking to attack. Guys that have NBA experience, guys that this is now a step down in class for them playing in the Summer League. Mavs had one of those, one of the best in my opinion, in Hardy. He is now shut down. When I look at the roster for roster now, though, I still like the Mavs slightly better than the Pacers. The Pacers have now shut down Benedict Mathurin and some of the other key guys for them. Jarris Walker did have a good game for the Pacers against the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they still lost and failed to cover in that one, 98-87. And without their second-year guy as well, Benedict Mathurin, a guy who got heavy minutes for them in the regular season, it's hard for me to want to look in their direction. I think the Mavs, roster for roster, are the better team. I like Mike Miles Jr. a lot. I think this is now a spot where we see him have a good game. We started to see flashes of that last game. I think the Mavs are fielding the better roster with Lively and Omax, guys like that. And I would not be surprised at all if the Mavs won this game outright. This is another one of my favorite plays on the board tonight, man. So definitely leaning in the direction of the Dallas Mavericks plus the 3.5 and on the money line in that one. Heat Nuggets, small lean on Miami money line in this one. It's probably more of a parlay piece. This game will probably be in my parlay. I do understand why the line is 4.5. Miami 2-1. We've seen them beat a good Boston team and then their last game blow the doors off of Milwaukee 91-72. Their one loss was to Phoenix in a close game, 73-70. Denver, on the other hand, they haven't won a game. I will say this, though. They have been competitive in all, and that's what makes me nervous about laying the points with Miami. I do think Miami wins the game, but I could see Denver possibly hanging around here. They hung around with Utah in that last one, a good Utah team, after Keontae George went down 96-91. Hung around with Atlanta 98-93. And lost to Milwaukee as well, 92-85. So these two teams do have a common opponent, a team that they both have played. That team is Milwaukee. We saw Miami blow the doors off Milwaukee. That was their last game played, 91-72. Denver lost to Milwaukee, 92-85. I understand why Miami is favored by 4.5. I'd rather put them in a parlay, though, on the money line. So that's probably what I do. So Miami money line is the look for me in that one. Next up, San Antonio, Detroit. Interesting game, man. Very interesting game. Y'all know I'm on record saying I really like this Detroit Pistons Summer League team. They were playing a lot of guys that will be getting heavy minutes for them in the regular season. But a few of those guys now are getting less minutes as we're starting to see other guys for the Pistons start to play more minutes. And we're going to start to see a lot more of that in the Summer League, man. Guys that were playing heavy minutes, the top tier guys for teams are now seeing their minutes decrease and are now starting to play in the Summer League, or not starting to play in the Summer League entirely, as coaches are trying to see what they have on the end of these Summer League rosters. They're trying to get a feel for everybody that they have, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing with this Detroit team. I'm on record saying I like San Antonio's team a lot, and I do lean in the direction of the Spurs in this one, getting the 4 points. And I would not be surprised if they won this game outright. We saw them beat up on Charlotte. That was a Wemby game. I told y'all I'm on record saying I like this Spurs team more so without Wemby when Wemby's in the lineup, which is crazy. I know it sounds crazy. The number one overall pick in Summer League should dominate, but when he's in the lineup for the Spurs team, they kind of play through him, want to see him be an all-time great. When he's not in the lineup, they just play San Antonio-style basketball, and those have translated into wins, and I think it will possibly translate into a win today. I'm worried that the top guys for this Pistons team that I really, really like, guys that will be getting heavy minutes in the regular season, will not play as many minutes as we think they will. And San Antonio has a real chance of being an underdog that gets an outright win today. So definite lean on San Antonio in that one. Jazz, Phoenix. A game that I'm kind of staying away from. I do understand why the Jazz are 5.5-point favorites, but still no update yet on Keontae George. Like I said, he did get hurt in that last one, and I've been looking, but the information not as readily available as in the regular season. Many people not covering the summer league, so this is a game that I kind of just rather stay away from as of right now. Small lean on Utah money line if you want to put it in a parlay. I do think they win this game, but one that I would rather stay off of myself personally. Last up, Grizzlies, Lakers. This Grizzlies team has been disappointing, man. Coming in, I told y'all I was extremely high on this Grizzlies team. I love me some Kenny Lofton Jr. We saw them win their first game against Chicago, 87-80. Since then, they got their doors blown off by Cleveland, 100-77. And then the Clippers beat them in their last one, 83-74. The Lake Show, 2-1, beat Quinones and the Golden State Warriors, blow the doors off of an abysmal Charlotte Hornets team, and then played super tough against a good Boston team. When I look at this game, though, I think this line should be even. I don't think the Lakers should be favored. I understand we've seen back-to-back bad games for this Memphis team, but I do think today could be a bounce-back spot for them. Max Christie has been hooping for the Lake Show, but I think this is a game where we could see Kenneth Lofton Jr. probably dominate down in the paint for Memphis and propel his team to a win. So I like the Memphis Grizzlies plus the 2.5 or on the money line for me here in that last one. So that's all the Summer League games today. Longer video. I tried to cover most of the games, man. I think I did cover all of them. Yeah, I covered all of them. So quick recap just to speed through. Lean Thunder, small lean. I like the Clippers a lot. One of my favorite bets in the on the card today. Lean in the direction of the Celtics. I like the Mavs a lot. Probably my second favorite bet on the board. The Heat should win straight up on the money line. San Antonio has a real chance of being an underdog that gets an outright win today. Really no information for me on the Utah Phoenix game. And then I think Memphis probably outrights the Lake Show tonight. Let's put together a parlay. Miami money line. Clippers laying the 2. Spurs plus 4. That's going to be my 3-team parlay for the night. Clips money line. No, Clips 2.5. Heat money line. Spurs plus 4. It's been your guy Jay Briggs, man. Thank y'all for joining me as we try to continue to cook up this summer league. I will try to continue to cook it up until the end of it. I appreciate y'all for joining me on this journey, man. Especially while we had no baseball the last few days. But guess what? Baseball is back today out of the All-Star break. I do have plays for sale. If you're looking for baseball plays, man, I have a 3-pack and also have my play of the day, $19 in Major League Baseball. So you can go scoop that up over at Pickdawgz Premium. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. I'll see y'all in the morning as I will be hosting the Pick Dawgz morning show tomorrow as I bring in all the guys and we chat some baseball. And I'll try to peel out some NBA Summer League information out of them as well. See y'all tomorrow, man. Let's make some money tonight. Hopefully the parlay hit. Talk to y'all on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, man. And I'm out of here. Peace.